Okay, what about your views on LGBTQ community and gay rights in Bermuda?
I think that
I ain't gotta push no weight. I came from the dirt. Now I'm living great.
Hey guys, it's your girl baby Hailey, a girl for camera and a dream, and it's kinda lit all week long. Today's episode is about finding your future jobs. This is something that's very important. This is gonna determine if you are homeless, middle class, or just like you ballin' and not on the budget. So let's just get right into current events. The first current event I have for you guys is attractive men may be at a disadvantage for finding jobs. Let's read more about it. While attractive men may have a leg up when it comes to getting dates, new research finds that they are at a disadvantage in many career fields. These guys may unwittingly intimidate their future bosses and thereby miss out on job opportunities, according to a small study published in the May edition of Organizational Behavior and Human Decision Processes. In a series of 4 experiments, researchers showed participants who worked in various fields photos of potential job candidates. Researchers then asked the participants to identify which of the candidates who were of differing levels of attractiveness they would hire. The somewhat unattractive applicants were the most likely to be chosen for the job, particularly in competitive environments like a car dealership where employees are evaluated and rewarded based on individual success. The second current event I have for you guys is a Yale graduate passed up a $95,000 job to scoop ice cream on an island. 31-year-old Noelle Hancock did what many of us wish we had the guts to do. She operated her comfortable Manhattan, New York lifestyle, turned down a $95,000 a year job, and moved to the Caribbean to scoop ice cream at a local ice cream parlor. With several job offers at her feet and a degree from Yale University under her belt, Noelle sold all her belongings and purchased a one-way ticket to the island of St. John. This is a quote from her. "I wasn't living in the moment. I was living for some indeterminate moment in the future when I'd saved enough money and vacation days to take a trip somewhere. If you're constantly thinking you need a vacation, maybe what you really need is a new lifestyle." Dang. She has a point. Like, you right. In McDonald's workers are not losers news. A McDonald's worker decided to finally clap back to the haters. "Today, I have had enough of the judgmental criticism," says Mike Waite, who works 50 hours a week at a McDonald's branch. He goes on to explain that he works at the fast food chain not because he has no aspirations, motivations, or intelligence, but rather because, like many of those he works with, he will be going back into higher education, and the job offers him flexibility. McDonald's has a reputation which is quite unfounded in the recent age. Every person I work with has a story, and every person is working their butts off in what can be a very tough job for their own reasons. He adds, "There are people becoming pilots, lawyers, designers, architects, and people who are at the point in their life that they will do anything it takes to provide for their family. In the past, I have known and worked with very rich folks in very rich and in very high-end jobs, and a few of them couldn't ever match the resilience and work ethic of some of my lads and lassies at McDonald's." Wade ends his message by writing, "Overall, please just take your preconceptions and be rid of them, because I work with some amazing people, and like many of them, McDonald's is not a dead end of my working life, but rather part of the beginning. Now, what drink would you like with that order?" Yes, honey, work. To be honest, I've never done labor in my life. Like, I've never had a job. Like, this is literally my job. This is it. I have to be funny on camera, which is actually pretty hard. I mean, we're struggling right now. We're struggling. Next up, we have Michael Dunkley. He talks about how he became a politician and how he evolved from wanting to be a pro golfer to being a milkman? Question mark. Anyway, roll the clip. It's pretty interesting. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Well, it's great to be here, baby Hailey. I'm a little bit nervous because I heard that I got to do some fun things later on, so I'm nervous and excited. But a little bit about myself, yeah. You introduced me as a former premier, but I'm a true Bermudian at heart, and I love being out and about in the community. And so I was excited when you approached me to come on to your show and help you with your project. So
okay.
Great to be here today.
Or do you think people are gonna, like young people are gonna remember what you did for Bermuda and how you impacted us? Like,
I think that some people will, and I think that you will have to remind some people of what you did. So it goes both ways. You know, people tend to have short memories. They'll remember what was important to them, and as time goes on, they'll remember some other things when they see the fruits of those decisions coming forward.
Okay, and is it important for people to remember you, or do you just like accept that you impacted Bermuda in your own way and that's enough for you?
No, that's a very good question. I think that if you've done a good job and if you made a difference, people will remember you. And I believe that my time in politics, I'm still a member of Parliament. I still enjoy serving people, working for people. I think people will remember a lot of the good things that took place in life. You know, life is tough. Even at the best of times, life is tough. And I found as the premier, there were a lot of decisions to be made, but the decisions that come to the premier to be made at the end are decisions that other people couldn't make, and that's why they went up the chain. So you have to make tough decisions all the time, and I think we made some tough decisions and we moved Bermuda forward. But the nature of politics nowadays is, as a young person, I'd be interested to hear what you say, but there's always a lot of friction. It's he said, she said type thing, and you have to, as people, you have to decipher what is the reality and what is misinformation.
Okay, so when Brianna and I were with you for the day, I noticed that a lot of people came up to you and was like praising you for what you did for Bermuda. Have you ever encountered people who just had hatred for you and said that to your face, and how did you handle it?
That is minimal at best, because humans by nature and Bermudians, because of our warmth and hospitality, really don't approach you like that. But occasionally it will happen, and I've learned that you just have to listen to what people have to say. And if there's an opportunity to have a discussion, engage in a discussion and do what you have to do. You can't please everyone, so you have to do the best you have to do. And, stick to your values. Stick to what you believe is right and keep working that way. And, you can change minds, you can change opinions. But I respect everyone's opinion, so I have no problem if somebody stops me and we have a disagreement about something, as long as we do it in a respectful way.
Mm-hmm. So after you realized that you lost the election, what did you do? Did you go home, eat a cheeseburger? Did you go to sleep?
Well, I was at home when the results were coming in, because I left my polling station, went home, had a shower, and then watched the results. And then as the results were coming in and close to the last results being announced, I went into the party headquarters and spent some time with my colleagues, talked to my colleagues, and then went and talked to the press after that. Then I came home and with a couple of friends, we sat in the kitchen and we talked for a while. I probably went to bed about 5 o'clock in the morning and was up about an hour and a half later. Politics, I said it over and over again, I won't stop saying it. Politics is tough because everyone gets involved to serve and make a difference. Mm-hmm. But when you are running for election, you never know what's going to happen. And this was the 6th time that I've run in a constituency, and I've won 5 of those elections in my constituency. So that says something in itself. And in fact, I think I'm the only politician in the history of Bermuda to run in 3 different constituencies and win in 3 different constituencies. So you never want to lose, and you certainly never want to lose the government. But I respect people's opinion and what they have to do. And Hailey, what I found in politics in the last couple of years is the pendulum is swinging real fast. And people get frustrated if they don't see progress, if they don't see jobs, if health insurance is too high for seniors. And so what they tend to do is make a decision and kick our government out. And then the pendulum swings back fast the other way. You've seen it in the United States, in Europe, with Brexit, and back here in Bermuda. So as a politician, you have to never get too high with your success and never get too low if things don't go the way you expect. I still have faith in the values that I bring to the table, and I still enjoy service, so I'll do the best I can. But it was a tough blow, because I honestly believe we got Bermuda going in the right direction, but there's still a lot of work to be done. And I'm still very concerned about our future. And I come here today, just a couple hundred yards from here, somebody was gunned down. That's our brothers and sisters are struggling, so I still have that passion to try to make a difference.
Okay, I noticed like on your social medias that you were like on vacation. I don't know where you were, but you looked like you were having a blast. So can you tell me where you went and what did you do?
Well, one thing I did when I was a premier, I worked 7 days a week. I'm up early and I worked late. And I didn't take any real time on vacation because you got a job to do, so you got to do it. So after the election, I spent some time. I went away for a few days right after the election just to relax with my wife, and then I took my family to Italy and went to northern Italy, and it was a blast. You got to go to Venice sometime because it's a weird city. It's underwater. You get around in boats.
Definitely. Me and Rihanna just came back from Peru, and that was a great experience. Rihanna got her phone stolen, and we got attacked by killer clowns. That was.
So it sounds like you had a good vacation too.
Yeah.
So I went to Italy for a few days, and then just recently, as my daughter, who's a lawyer in New York, is in between jobs, she wanted to go somewhere before she started a new job, and I said, sure, I'll take a couple of days with you. So we went to the Bahamas, and we had a blast. We went down to the Exumas, and we swam with the pigs. You ever heard the wild pigs on the island?
Yeah.
These pigs got an island and a beach like Horseshoe Bay.
Yeah.
And when you drive your boat up, they come out to you, and you feed them and stuff. It's the coolest thing. And then we went to another small island, and I swam with sharks. That was pretty cool. It was a little intimidating in the beginning,
yeah.
But I got into the water afterwards and swam with the sharks. So yeah, had a little bit of time just to relax and to recharge myself. But I'm back working hard and always enjoying life.
Cool. Do you have like a message for young people who want to be successful in politics or just in general in life in Bermuda?
That's a very good question. Look, I think everyone will find their niche in society, and I think for young people is try to identify a couple of role models that you can be comfortable with, and that they have values that can push you ahead in the world. Look, it's a tough world that we live in. And let's face it, you have family and friends who care about you deeply. But in the big world, everyone's in their own rat race, so to speak, right? So you have to get a strong nucleus of family and friends. You have to have proper values. And I think there are 4 keys that I stick to in life to keep it simple, right? I remember when I was your age and I was playing basketball, and a basketball star came and talked to us, and he said, I remember these 4 things in life, right? Hard work. You can't get anywhere in life without hard work, right?
Definitely.
Sacrifice. You're not going to go anywhere without sacrificing something. Like you sacrifice something to do this for your school project today, you'd rather be doing something else. Perseverance. Sometimes at first something happens, you're not going to get it done. You got to keep going, so you got to persevere. If you give up, you never get anywhere. And finally, you have to have fun. Everything you do, you have to have fun. And it looks like you do that.
Well, I actually don't know what I want to be when I grow up, and right now I'm really struggling to find myself. And I always talk to my mom, like, Mommy, I don't know what I want to be, and she supports me and just tells me, it's okay, Hailey, you don't need to know yet. And I think that message that you just portrayed to me is really important for young people to know.
No, I think you're right, and you got a lot of time, but just don't waste your time. Always be productive in what you're doing, and if you're sticking with the right people, and listening to what they say and building some values, you'll be good in life. When I was young, I wanted to be a professional golfer. I would have been Tiger Woods, because Jack Nicklaus was a guy at that time. I would have been the next Tiger Woods, but my father passed away, and then my values changed a little bit, and I went back to thinking about the family business. So, don't close any doors. You can keep those doors open.
If you thought you were done with Michael Dunkley, Don't leave yet, because I made him dance. Oh yes, I made him and my best friend Rhiannon dance to, I think it was Swalla La La or Swalla or whatever, but it was pretty funny. When I was editing this episode, I was dying. Anyway, roll the clip.
Shake right arm, go swing to the side. Swing to the side. Step back and roll. Roll and lower arm down. Down. That's all we're gonna learn from now. Get on your toes. Get feet. Go feet up.
Hey, Mom, are you coming?
This is funny.
What is this? Too hot? I'm gonna copy you.
What is this? I don't know. You should have a speaker. Oh God! I'm not doing that.
If you could... Come on, Mama. Come on, Mama. A guest dancer.
Next up, we have an interview with Paula Cox. She talks about how to achieve your dreams and how to believe in yourself and finding your career aspirations. I mean, that was the original interview and we didn't answer those questions, but I just got a little interested on her views on gay marriage in Bermuda. So, do you feel that in the future, children and teenagers will remember what you did for Bermuda?
I don't know. I think that politics is often seen as so toxic, and I don't know that people keep up with the education about what various politicians do. I think those who came into contact with me when I was a minister or representative will, I think what I'm known for is having introduced term limits, which was to protect the jobs of Bermudians. I'm known for introducing the prescription drug financing for seniors. I'm known for introducing the Bermuda Education Strategic Team in education, which certainly was seen as probably one of the highest standards in terms of what we've done in terms of education. I think I'm known for introducing town halls about finance and budgets and trying to take it to the people. And currently, I'm still involved in the sense that I serve on the board of the credit union, which I think is going to be a formidable force to help change the economic balance in Bermuda. And I think that people who touch and have touched me will remember me. But those who don't, I mean, you know, in politics, you don't go in it really for becoming a celebrity. You go into it, for me, to trying to make a difference.
So you would say that people remember you in the future isn't what's very important to you, it's something that will happen or, you know, might happen, or...
It's not something I'm going to lose any sleep over. I would hope they will remember me as somebody who cared about Bermuda and who sought to make a difference and who did make a difference. But if they don't, you know, my ego isn't wrapped up in being remembered for stuff.
Okay, and what education background do you have? Can you...
Well, I'm a former Berkeleyite, a former West Pembrokeite, and I am currently I'm a lawyer. I did a diploma, postgraduate in international law, and I'm a serving lawyer working in an international financial services company.
So, what advice would you have for teenagers who want to get into being a lawyer or a politician? Like, what education background would you suggest them to study?
I think the pathway to success is varied. There isn't a straight road. I think the main thing is to have an inquiring mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's to be innovative like you are. Look at us. Look at us. We're sitting in your studio that you have created, and you have a brand. It's to have a sense of who you are, to define who you are, and then to go for it. Whether it's in journalism, whether it's in law, whether it's in politics, it's to know who you are and then decide that I'm going to craft my pathway for success. And I think you are a role model that anybody would be proud of. And if I had a daughter, I'd be proud to have a daughter like you, because you show enthusiasm, you have exuberance, and I think you're excited about what you're doing. And I think that whatever you do in life, you have to have a passion for it. Don't go and become a doctor if you really want to be a lawyer or a journalist because you think it's going to make more money. Don't go and become an actuary if you really want to change young people's lives by being an educator. Find your passion and go for it. That's what you're doing.
That is like the best advice you could ever give to me, because when I'm thinking of what I want to do when I grow up, I'm thinking of money. Like, I honestly don't care about passion. Like, I don't want to be broke, and I don't want to have to be thinking about how I'm going to get the new iPhone. That's like the first thing on my mind. And when I think of my passion is to do videography and cinematography, like, I'm gonna be broke if I, but at the beginning, maybe, but like most, like, that's what I'm thinking of, and I'm just like scared. Like, if I follow my passion, then what will happen to me? Will I be able to buy a house? Will I be able to achieve my aspirations with the passion that I have? Like, you know, that's like the main problem for me when I'm thinking of what I want to be when I grow up. And I'm so happy that you just gave me that advice, because, you know, sometimes it doesn't matter. You just have to be happy and just like follow your passion. So
I totally agree. But I would also say that notwithstanding following your passion, you also have to have a plan. And part of your plan may be that you're looking at a budget. But with the social media right now, I mean, many people can work anywhere in the world and do social media. Look at what you're good at. How many people, think of the world, the billions of people and young people all over the world who want to have a connection and who will see you and be inspired. My husband tells me in the Cameroons, it used to be that you had one radio station that was dominated by their government. Now, he says, there's been a proliferation of social media and radio stations, and people are listening because they want to be informed and because they want to challenge and question the system. So what I'm saying to you is that don't think that because you're not in what people see as the established professions that you can't be successful. Because communications, in fact, communications was an area I was tremendously interested in. I was a journalist. I wanted to be a bestseller novelist, and I wanted to write. But then I got intrigued and interested by law because I saw it as another way to channel my interest in policy making and politics. But don't think that because you do what you like that you can't make money. But it does mean sitting down and working out a plan. A 5-year plan, a 3-year plan, but if you do what makes you happy, it's not work. And know that you should not feel in any way limited because you decide to go into videography. There are so many things to do, because one thing that people want to do is communicate. And you provide a tool to that. And look how you're doing it at such a young age. If this is how you are now, can you imagine what you're going to be like in 5-10 years from now? You're going to be even more awesome. And you're pretty awesome now. Seriously, you are.
So,
believe in yourself. That's what I want you to do.
Okay.
And your friends. Believe in yourself. once you believe, you will achieve.
Okay, what about your views on LGBTQ community and gay rights in Bermuda?
I think that what we have to do is recognize that no issue should we approach with a closed mind.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got to recognize also that our personal morality isn't necessarily what we should be legislating for other people. So to be quite honest, I'm not interested in what goes on in people's private bedrooms. That's not my business. And what people do is up to them. Do I favor it? I don't know if I have a view one way or the other, to be quite honest.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that where I have a concern is if there is the abuse of young people. And I would have that concern whether you are heterosexual or not. Sexual abuse of young people, sexual abuse of the vulnerable is a no-go area. But I think that we have to start maturing and discussing issues so that even when we disagree, we don't have to be disagreeable. And my personal religious prism may not be one that supports that. But having said that, as a legislator, I'm not legislating for Paula Cox. I'm legislating for the good of the country. And the good of the country recognizes that we have diverse talents, diverse abilities, and diverse feelings.
When my friends and I found out that they were going to or thinking about changing the laws of LGBTQ community, I was personally devastated. Like I was like, how could they? Like, what are they doing? Like, I was like baffled first of all.
Mm-hmm.
And since I go to summer school, my school is open-minded and diverse. Like, people were like literally crying, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't even know why anybody would think this is a good idea. Like, why can't I just let people be who they are? Like, honestly, it's embarrassing to go away abroad and to say that my country doesn't support LGBTQ marriages. Like, that's just something that I don't want to say, and that's something that, like, you don't want to express to people. Like, you want to say Bermuda is open-minded and we love everybody and we support everybody because we are supposed to. Like, this is, honestly, it was like super ridiculous, and I was personally devastated and heartbroken, and so it was just like, oh my god, what is happening? Next up, we have the funniest guy I know, Nadanja Bailey. He talks about how he became an entertainer and where he gets his jokes from. So, roll the clip.
Well, my name is Nadanja. Nice to meet you, Hailey.
Nice to
Right,
meet you.
thanks for having me on your show. About me, I am an entertainer. I don't want to be labeled as a comedian, right? Most people think I'm just a comedian. I want to be, because I like to sing. I sang in the church as a young boy coming up.
Okay.
But I left singing and went to comedy because when you sing, if it's a song that people know, they clap. Yes, yes, get it. And then it's silence until you finish. And then when you finish, they clap again, but you don't know if they're clapping because you was good or if you was mug.
Okay.
You know, so
They
I
could
say
just be clapping because you're done, and they're like, thank God.
that's my point. So that's why I say, you know what, I'm doing a comedy where I can tell jokes and they're laughing the entire time, or they're not laughing, but with me they're laughing.
You think they laugh? They might be just laughing at the thought of you.
No, man, no. The thought. Listen, it's you know what? It's nice being me. When I'm performing, because I've been doing it for so long, I could walk out on a stage and people say, oh, that boy's so stupid. And I hear it. And then it makes other people around laugh, right? So, you know, I just stand there and they just start laughing because they don't know what's going to come out of my mouth because I know that I have a problem. And that's what's wrong. That's what's wrong with people. People need to understand, like, your ups and your downs, your pros and your cons. I know what's wrong with me. And I use that to my advantage.
Okay, so what do you do on your off season right now? Like when you're not entertaining?
When I'm not entertaining, well, I have 2 children, so I like to, you know, spend as much time with them. I have a daughter, she's 15, a son that's 7, and you know, like me and him, we're cool right now. Like that's my boy. My daughter, you know, she wants to do too much right now, so you know, I'm trying to you know, pull the ropes in tight, you know?
Okay. 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 So, how did you get your start being an entertainer?
Back when I was younger, they had this entertainment group. It was called Us Day Productions,
Okay.
and with Us Day, they had singing, dancing, and comedy or skits. So they would let you read lines, and you would just act it out or whatever. So basically, I did the acting part or the comedy, and so they helped to give me, you know, a start and confidence. Also, my father used to have jail suppers up at Southampton Princess years ago, really successful. And I used to always open for that, for him, like just
Yeah.
welcome everybody.
Okay.
And just say welcome to the jail supper, I can't remember, and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, so I think being on the stage was always gonna happen for me.
Mhm.
So I'm happy that I here. I feel somewhat accomplished where I am now. Like if I never performed again, I'm happy with the things that I've done in my past.
Okay. And do you feel like people will remember you years to come? Like 10 years from now, people will be like,
Yeah, of course. They would like if anybody followed like Two Fools. Have you ever seen any Two Fools stuff? I'd like to get you some DVDs. You'll die. You'll die at that stuff. That's where me and my boy Ja did. We ran for 10 years, from 2000 until 2010, dressing up, doing different characters at City Hall. Shows were always successful, and you know, we was always known as the Two Fools. Even on the street, even today, if they see us together, because you know that's my boy, we hang out, and they be like, "Oh, look at the Two Fools together." And then, you know, some people use different words, but we can't talk about that tonight.
okay. So, how do you deal with the hate that you get, if you get any?
I don't. At my age, I don't get hate. You know, it's about 7 comedians on the island, and we don't hate on each other. We pretty much support each other, and but no, there's no hate
So
because the others, I don't know if they want to do this full time. Some of them have regular jobs and, you know, do this in the nighttime whenever there's just a show. Nadanja performs all the time. You know, like if there's a wedding, I'll host your wedding.
Oh shoot.
I don't just do whatever. Like I like to
Okay.
MC events as well.
Okay.
You know,
got
so
you.
know if you're having a dance show, like you need a great host. You know, you need to call me, and you know I'll come and host it for you.
When did you first know that this is what you wanted to do full time, or?
I saw Eddie Murphy in a movie with Nick Nolte. The movie was 48 Hours.
Okay.
And I tell you, I grew up in the church, so it was forbidden to curse in the house or anything like that. So it was nothing but cursing in this movie. So I grew up in a house with my mama and my grandparents and my mama's brothers and sisters, right?
Okay.
So, you know, they were gangsters, somewhat, you know, not real gangsters, but, you know,
Yeah.
they did what you're not supposed to do, which is watch movies in the house with cursing in it, because my granny didn't tolerate that. But, you know, when granny got asleep, they were putting this movie, and I just watched it faithfully. And so my granny caught me watching it one day, and she took the VHS tape. You know what a VHS tape is? You probably don't even know. You're a DVD baby. She took it out and just ripped the whole tape out in front of me. Like
Crush
the
your
tape
dreams.
itself.
Your whole dreams with that
I was
tape?
mad, man. But after that, I started to follow Eddie Murphy's career. Like, my favorite movie of all time is Coming to America.
I like that.
He played like 4 different roles in that movie, and it wasn't until the end of the movie when you was like, oh my God, he played that one too. Like, you didn't know that he played so many roles, but yeah, Eddie Murphy would definitely be the guy for me as to why I do what I do.
So where do you get your jokes from? Do you make them up? Like, how do you make all these funny skits and?
I go to a bar
Okay.
and just have conversation with different people, or I could be at a wedding or wherever. If it's a crowd of people and I just listen to what they're saying, and it could be something about the news or whatever. If I don't say something funny, somebody in that circle is gonna say something funny, and then I just go to my phone and just create a quick voice note and say,
Okay.
yo, he said chicken nuggets. And then I'll remember what that's about later.
Okay.
And then I'll write it out.
And then you like make your little tweak or whatever.
Yeah,
Make it a little
and then make it
more.
work. Yeah.
Okay. Got you.
Watch what you say.
Okay. Okay.
Gosh.
So, okay. Have you ever like told a joke and like nobody just like you didn't get anything?
Yeah, that's happened to me before. It happened to that. You know, if it doesn't happen to you in this business, being a comedian, then you gotta be good, because there's no comedian that I know who hasn't been booed or the joke just didn't go out. It's happened to Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, Chris Tucker, like the list goes on. Bill Cosby. I've read a lot of these guys' books, and they'll say that you have to bomb at least once in order for you to get back up. Because when you bomb on stage, you don't want to tell jokes no more. You don't. Like, you cry, right? Like, I cried. I was at #1 share, then it was a building. And I told this joke about this airplane and how the point of an airplane, the nerves of it, I can't even tell the joke. But anyway, I remember it, right? Because you're probably not going to laugh. But to this day, I think it's hilarious. But that's just me. I have a problem. And so, you know, so that didn't go well. It was a reggae show I was hosting. Tell this joke, and yeah, they booed me, wow.
They booed you?
Yeah, man.
That's rude. Then what you do after that? You just
I
walk
laugh.
off?
I mean, stay for the party. I laugh because your self-esteem just goes.
Was that your last joke? Or that's the last joke you told?
Nah, this was in like,
No, I mean like in that little show, like was that your last joke when they booed you and you just walked off? Or did you tell more?
no, I was done after that. I forgot whatever else I had to say. It was my career was over. But you know, I've picked back up. You know, if there's any advice that I could give anybody, is like, you know, I forget who wrote it, but there's a quote from a famous person, and the quote is, "In order to succeed, you must first fail." That makes sense to you?
Yeah.
Because it's going to make you fight harder to get what you want. So for an athlete who's trying to run 100 meters under 10 seconds flat, and you're running it in 11 seconds, you got to train harder so you could get that 10 seconds, which is doable.
So what's your educational background consist of?
7 years of primary school,
Okay.
5 years of high school.
Okay. 5 years of high school?
Before your time, girl, before your time. But my educational background stops at the Neighborhood Playhouse School of Theater. So which is a certificate in acting, dancing, and singing.
You had to do dance?
I had to do modern dance, I had to wear tights and stuff. I used to get teased when I tell people what I had to do from my boys in Bermuda. Like they used to call me Tutu. Because I had to do ballet and stuff. Ballet, jazz, modern. And back then, Pilates wasn't that big in Bermuda. I was there from 1999 to 2001. And we did yoga. I first did yoga back then in 1999, which is just breathing and in certain positions and stuff, you know, just all this breathing.
Okay.
I don't do yoga now, like I breathe on my own perfectly fine.
Alright. Can you sing one of your songs for me? You said you like to sing, remember?
I didn't say I like to sing.
Okay, you sang in the chart. Did you
Right,
say
that was back in the day. You know how long was the last time I went church?
Didn't you sing last week somewhere?
No. Word. Not me. I weren't
You
singing
sang
nowhere.
somewhere. Okay, just give me
I faked the funk, girl.
Come on.
Really?
What's my favorite song with the dance?
Thinking Out Loud.
Thinking Out Loud.
When your legs don't work like they used to before, and I can't sweep you off of your feet. Will your mouth still remember the taste of my love? Will your eyes still smile from you?
Cheek.
From something, I don't know.
Cheek. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, turn on my post notifications, and I will see you next episode.